1, Geminis are awesome. 2, this soap should have been purple. That's it. That's the end of the story. Hi, I'm Mrs. Soap and Clay. Let's make stuff. How's it going, Sudsers? Welcome back to the channel. You are here for another round of 365 days of soap, and today we are making the Gemini bar. And I'm a Gemini, so it should be the best thing that we've ever made ever, right? Sure, let's go with that. Now, all of the soaps in the Zodiac line were designed with the specific signs in mind, right? So we researched all of the different signs, what they like as far as colors go, as far as scents go, the scents that ground them, the scents that excite them, positive traits and their negative traits, and we designed the bars based on that. Now, Gemini is an air sign, and it is the first air sign that we've done on the channel so far. Now, normally with the air signs, I had a confetti pattern going on with the soaps, which I'll show you in just a minute, and I decided to mix it up for this bar. I haven't been completely happy with the confetti soaps, and honestly, they're kind of kitsch, and I'm kind of over it. So I went for a new pour today with a new cool hanger that Mr. Soap and Clay designed. And so let's go see, what I came up with. Okay, so today we are making the Gemini soap. And this soap is, my soap because I'm a Gemini, and so that's super awesome. And this is what the Gemini soap currently looks like. And so you have the dark orange on the bottom, the kind of yellow gold in the middle, and then a confetti design at the top to sort of symbolize air or whatever. And the confetti soaps were fun when we first started making these. And I'm really over confetti soaps at this point. It's kind of, I don't know, it was trendy and cool or whatever, but I don't know, I can do without. So I'm back to wanting to make things with hangers and skewers and do swirls and all that fun stuff, just not layers. And so yeah, we're gonna switch the design up a little bit today. We are gonna stick with the orange and the yellow for the two bottom colors, and we are going to keep the top white. We're just going to remove the confetti essentially and see if we can use this new cool hanger that Mr. Soap and Clay made to do like a multi-pull essentially, without having to take your hanger and pull it out and then back in, whatever. And so we will be playing with that today in the creation of this soap. It will still have all the kaolin clay, which is there on the lower left. It is dispersed in water today, and the scent of the Gemini bar is a lilac scent. And everything was designed for the Zodiac soaps really specifically thinking about each sign, right? So you have with the colors that Geminis are drawn to are really bright, oranges and yellows, that sort of thing, and they're most drawn to very bright citrus scents as well. But the lilacs, when I was a kid, we had a big lilac bush outside of my window, and it would bloom every year the week of my birthday. And so for me, I definitely associate June with lilacs, and I'm a June Gemini, and it's my bar, so I get to pick the scent. And so we went with lilacs, which is a little bit confusing with the orange and the yellow, but Geminis are nothing if not confusing, so it all works out well. Now we are going to move on to the pour so you can see that cool hanger that I was talking about that Mr. Soap and Clay made, and we will talk more about the oils in this. Okay, now this is the hanger that I told you Mr. Soap and Clay made. So it has 5 different points there, all connected to essentially one big pole. So the idea is you can totally do multiple pulls at the same time and sort of make, I don't know, like an upside down, you know, hanger pull, really. It's kind of similar to like if you were using a regular hanger for a hidden feather swirl, or like, you know, putting a tree or a flower or something in the middle of the bar, but essentially using it with 5 different points. And so in order to really accomplish, you know, a hanger pull like that, your batter needs to be at a nice sort of like medium weight. And as far as the fluidity goes, if it's too thin, I've noticed that the, you know, hanger just pulls right through and doesn't actually pull any of the soap along with it, or leaves really, really wispy swirls that are, you know, so not noticeable that you shouldn't even bother with the hanger, really. And if it's too thick, the hanger is just sort of going to push the soap batter to the side and also not pull it up, you know, the batter up with it. So yeah, you want a nice sort of medium fluidity with with any sort of hanger pull. And the fluidity of this batter right now, it's good actually. The orange is really good, and the yellow is looking really nice. And so this is kind of the proper consistency that you're gonna want for a good hanger that actually will pull one color into another and, you know, do the thing. And so yeah, so far so good. It's looking pretty nice. With this particular recipe, though, we have some problems that are going to lead to a thicker batter when it's all said and done. I mean, technically speaking, we have 3 problems that lead to a thicker batter. I make clay soaps, right? And so all of my soaps have lots and lots of clay in them. And so my batter is just naturally going to be thicker than others. 2, this particular batch of soap, I have to cut about 7 or 8 minutes of just like nothing time out of. Like I did nothing. I have no idea where I went or what I did, and yeah, and so as a result, I took off and had to go do something else. My soap was thickening up in the process. And C, the biggest reason why I'm going to have some issues as far as an overly thick batter go with this is going to be the actual formulation of this recipe. Now, this recipe is a 60-40 split of hard oils to soft. So we have palm oil, we have coconut oil, and we have, for the liquids, we have argan, and we have grapeseed, and we have olive in this guy, but also, and we have shea butter. And shea butter in soap, it's a very interesting addition, really. I mean, shea butter on its own or in a leave-in product or whatever, it's great. It's high in antioxidants, it's high in vitamins, it helps out with, like, you know, wounds, it's a natural antiseptic, it's very moisturizing, it helps the collagen repair, all those things in a leave-on product, right? We're talking lotion, we're talking like leave-on conditioner, or even a conditioner that sits on your hair for like 5 minutes and you rinse off, you know, body butters, that sort of thing. But this is a rinse-off product, right? So in soap, it's a very interesting thing. It doesn't really contribute a whole lot. It certainly doesn't contribute a lot as far as like extra moisture or extra bubbles go, or bar hardness, which is interesting because it has a fair amount of stearic acid, shea butter does. But in the on the other hand, it actually has a lot of iodine. And so while it should contribute to bar hardness, it actually doesn't, and it also does not contribute much to the moisture, just because the fatty acid profiles it has. But it does thicken up a soap batter pretty incredibly while you are working with it. Again, it doesn't lead to a harder bar, it just leads to a more pain in the butt soap process. So this batter right here that we're working with, the white, it's pretty thick. I mean, it's so thick that it's not even pourable at this point, and I'm going to have to sort of spoon it on and smooth it out a little bit so I can do the pull. And so for that reason, and also this was happening right after the 7-8 minutes that I had to cut out of the video. Like after I poured that yellow, I just took off. I don't know what I was doing. I mean, oh, disaster. I don't usually just leave my soap hanging out, so whatever, it must have been something important. But anyway, so as this has thickened up in the container, the two colors underneath have also thickened up in the mold. And so this pole, I would be surprised if I saw any sort of real big, anything that I was really going for. But we'll find out. We'll see. Now, so I was just talking about shea butter, right? And how it doesn't really contribute much to the lather or to the bar hardness. So why do you use shea butter in your soaps, Mrs. Soap and Clay? I do, because it actually contributes really great moisture. I'll pull it up. And look, in a normal good hanger pull, you would see some of the other colors in that, just a little bit, right? At least a little bit. We saw nothing but white there. And I think that means it did not work the way that I want it to. So we will find out, when we cut. But yeah, shea butter. Back to shea. It is very moisture rich, and for soaping, it does contribute a fair amount of moisture to the bar, and I love that. So I like a really nice conditioning soap, and so for that reason, I put it in soaps. I don't know, maybe 20-30% of the time. And this is my bar, the Gemini bar, and I love shea so much. So I, obviously put it into mine because I like shea. But anyway, so yeah, there you have it. We have a sort of thick batter going on right now. And I'm going to smooth the rest in there. And it's not so thick that, you remember the beer soap that was so bad? I knew it was going to have all kinds of air pockets and everything in it. It's not like that. It's completely fine. I would be really surprised if I ended up with 2 terribly many air pockets. But again, the air pockets are one of the reasons why I really hate soaping thick. I prefer all soaps that can be done at a really, really thin, with really, really thin batter. But this guy will go into the oven. He will go through gel. It will be C-popped because we want to get those orange and yellow colors down below really, really bright. And then, yeah, we will go ahead and cut it and see if the hanger did anything to this bar. It's one of the crazy things when you're doing a loaf mold. You're completely flying blind, so you have no idea what to expect when you cut into it the next day. And by no idea, that's not strictly true, right? Like, you do know what the overall sort of what you should be getting. Like, with a lot of soaps, you have a plan of attack and you're hoping for something, and so you pour a specific way to make it so. And with this guy, I did that, but again, because the batter got thick, I'm thinking the hanger probably is not going to have done its thing in there, and that's super sad. But we won't know until we actually, cut into it. So as far as the form and everything goes, it looks great. Everything looks beautiful. And yeah, no, I mean, remember there was supposed to be 5 points, and there's just kind of nothing at all. That's weird. I do love the colors. I like how they're much, much brighter than the last round with the Gemini soaps. So that's definitely a win. And there's not any semblance of 5 anything. And like the orange did not pull into yellow. The yellow did not pull into white much, just barely at the top there. If at, yeah, just tiny bit. So yeah, no, the batter got too thick. And that was not at all the thing that I was going for. But, that's actually fine. It's still a really well-formed bar of soap. It looks great. It's bright. It's fun. It doesn't have the air quality that I obviously want with an air soap, so it's not airy. And with these cute little wispy, upward pulls, I was hoping for sort of an airy looking bar. But it's really okay because the Gemini bar, it gets stamped with the cool Gemini, sign here, and it's pretty. And look at that. It's still beautiful. That still totally works out, even though that wasn't exactly what I was going for. So, we'll play with this the next time we make the Gemini soap and see if we can accomplish those, sort of upward swirls, and yeah, work with that. But in and of itself, this bar it's still beautiful. It's nice and bright and awesome, and it smells great. It smells like lilacs, and so that's super confusing as far as, looking at something and then smelling something. They don't match, but yeah, that's kind of my thing. It's what I do. And yeah, so these guys, I don't know. I really don't know. I mean, they're still beautiful. Do you hear me like second guessing myself here? Like this is funny because I'm very much like, it's a pretty bar, but it's not what I'm going for, and so that should mean it's a fail, but it's not, because again, the soap is well formed. It's going to be very moisturizing. I love the lather to this. It smells like lilacs. It's fun. It has the beautiful, awesome Gemini stamp on it, and so, you know, as a Gemini, I still love it anyway. It's super great, but it did not do exactly what I wanted it to do with, you know, this change. And while that is disappointing, it is, you know, it kind of is what it is. So yeah, no, I mean, you should give me your opinions on it. What do you think? Obviously, I'm not doing the confetti anymore unless somebody can really convince me to keep going with them, because I don't know, like I said, they're just, I don't want to. But there is, you know, old version of Gemini, the new version of Gemini, day 55, Gemini Zodiac soaps, smells like lilac. And there it is, the Gemini soap. Now, I really love the scent of this bar. The lilac is just such a slam dunk for me because, again, when I was a kid, the lilacs would bloom the week of my birthday every year without fail. And so I really associate that with, you know, my birthday, and my birthday means I'm a Gemini. And so, yeah, I did the thing. Geminis are supposed to be drawn to citrus scents, and I guess I am too, but again, it's my bar, so I got to pick the scent. Now, with the design itself, I'm not 100% sold. The batter was actually too thick to do a proper pull with the new hanger that Mr. Soap and Clay designed, but the hanger itself is super cool. So I will definitely work with this hanger again with another pour and see if we can get a thinner batter and, you know, see if it works better then. But, you know, for now, that's it. Gemini soap. It is on the website if you're interested in the soap or any of the Zodiac soaps or their essential oil roller bottle blends. You can find those at soapandclay.com. And, you know, right here, you can also find me. So subscribe to the channel because we're doing daily soapy antics and it's fun and you want to be a part of it. Or maybe I really want you to be a part of it. So, you know, subscribe. Anyway, thanks. That's it for today and I will see you tomorrow.